Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. US President Donald Trump announces plan for new US Navy battleships, calls them fastest and most powerful. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says negotiations conducted with the US and European nations are very close to a real result. United States calls upon Sudan to accept peace plan during UN Security Council meeting. Sudan's Prime Minister Kamel Idris thanks Trump and Rubio for helping to advance the peace process. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on a visit to Sri Lanka to meet top Sri Lankan leadership today. Indian women's cricket team to play their second T20 international with Sri Lanka today. US President Donald Trump has announced a bold plan for the US Navy to build a new large warship that he is calling a battleship as part of a larger vision to create a golden fleet. Trump claimed during the announcement at the Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida that the ship will be longer and larger than the World War II era Iowa-class battleships and will be armed with hypersonic missiles, railguns and high-powered lasers, all technologies that are still being developed by the Navy.
Battleships are the largest, sturdiest, and most heavily armed vessel built specifically for naval combat. While America has built many new warships over the years, they've tended to be smaller and much smaller, and not conducive to where we are and where we're going, and peace through strength. These cutting-edge vessels will be some of the most lethal surface warfare ships. They will be actually the most ever built other than our submarines. We have submarines which will have, in many ways, even more lethality, and we have many of them under construction.
US President Donald Trump has said that the United States could keep or sell the oil it had seized off the coast of Venezuela in recent weeks, adding the United States would also keep the seized ships.
Maybe we'll sell it, maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserves. We're keeping it. We're keeping the ships also. He can do whatever he wants. It's all right. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do something, if he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough.
Let's get to Russia-Ukraine conflict updates now. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is expecting a report from his negotiating team on a proposed peace plan following talks with the United States. The discussions held in Miami with representatives of US President Trump focused on bilateral security guarantees and an economic recovery plan for Ukraine. Zelenskyy said that substantial work has been done on a 20-point peace plan, but stressed that any progress depends on Russia showing real willingness to end the conflict.
Our negotiation team is already returning after meetings in America with representatives of President Trump. I expect a full report on the prepared documents. A lot has been worked on, primarily documents on security guarantees, as well as the 20 points of the main document, the basic framework discussed by the Ukrainian and American delegations.
Meanwhile, US intelligence continues to warn that Russian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has not abandoned his broader territorial ambitions. US President Donald Trump has said that the United States needs Greenland for national security, citing growing Russian and Chinese presence in the Arctic region. Trump implied Greenland is needed for national protection and economic development, not for minerals, as he appoints Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry as his special envoy to Greenland. The move draws criticism from Denmark and Greenland over Washington's growing interest in the mineral-rich Arctic island.
We need Greenland for national protection. They have a very small population. And I don't know, they say Denmark, but Denmark has spent no money. They have no military protection. they say that Denmark was there 300 years ago or something with a boat. Well, we were there with boats too, I'm sure. So we'll have to work it all out. But he felt very strongly we need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
In Albania's capital, Tirana, protesters hurled firebombs at the government building housing Prime Minister Edi Rama's office on Monday. They are demanding the government's resignation after prosecutors indicted Deputy Prime Minister Melinda Baluko on corruption charges. Baluko, who also oversees the Ministry of Infrastructure, manages projects worth hundreds of millions of euros. The Special Prosecution Office has asked Parliament to lift her immunity and allow her arrest. Rama's party holds a majority, but it's unclear when lawmakers will vote. Police in riot gear guarded the building during the unrest, but did not move against the demonstrators. A car drove into a crowd during an annual light parade in Nunspeet, Netherlands on Monday in a suspected accident that left at least 9 injured. 3 of them are in a serious condition. The driver, a 56-year-old woman from the village, sustained minor injuries and was detained by police. Emergency services, including several trauma helicopters, responded quickly to the scene to assist the injured. While as a result of the accident, the municipality of Aalborg announced that the parade would be halted, and organizers confirmed that it would not pass through Nunspeet. In a bid to secure peace in war-torn Sudan, the United States has urged Sudan to accept peace plan during the UN Security Council meeting. U.S. representatives to the United Nations said that the responsibility to end the civil war in Sudan lies with the Sudanese armed forces and the paramilitary rapid support forces. Sudan's civil war between the RSF and the Sudanese armed forces signed in April 2023 and has displaced millions and killed tens of thousands of people. During a speech to the United Nations Security Council on Monday, the ambassador urged both belligerents to accept this plan without preconditions immediately.
Let me be clear. The onus is on the Sudanese armed forces and the rapid support forces to end this horrifying conflict now. Under President Trump's leadership and at his direct instruction, Secretary Rubio and Senior Advisor Boulos have offered a way forward via a humanitarian truce. We urge both belligerents to accept this plan without preconditions immediately. We also call on all parties to honor their humanitarian commitments, including refraining from attacking civilians and allowing full, safe, and unhindered humanitarian access throughout the country.
Sudanese Prime Minister Kamel Idris thanked U.S. President Donald Trump and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio for helping to advance the peace process in his country. Earlier, Rubio had said that Washington's immediate goal on Sudan is the cessation of hostilities going into the new year that allows humanitarian organizations to be able to deliver assistance. During the UNSC meeting, Idris stressed on the conflict's trajectory, humanitarian needs, and regional implications.
The Government of Sudan Peace Initiative is born not from illusion, but from necessity, not from victory, but from responsibility. It is a deliberate choice to replace chaos with order, violence with law, and despair with hope.
In central Nigeria, gunmen have kidnapped 28 people, including women and children, in Zak village of Bashir district. The victims were traveling to a religious gathering when their vehicle was ambushed. Police has launched an investigation. The attack comes as the final group of 130 kidnapped Nigerian school children freed by the government on Sunday involved the country's worst school kidnapping in recent years, ending a month-long ordeal that drew global concern. The United Nations warns of a surge in mass abductions, with worshippers also targeted in separate raids. The abduction caused outrage over worsening insecurity in northern Nigeria, where armed gangs frequently target schools for ransom. And the crisis has become a profit-driven industry, generating over $1.6 million in the past year. In Uganda, pop star turned politician Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu, better known as Bobby Wine, is stepping up his campaign across Kampala ahead of the January 2026 elections. Bobby Wine's National Unity Platform is the main opposition to President Yoweri Museveni, who has ruled the East African nation for nearly 4 decades now. Uganda has more than 21.6 million voters and they are registered for the January 15th vote. The Election Commission has also cautioned security agencies against interfering with campaign activities, pledging a fair contest for all the candidates. Mexico has released water from the El Cachulo Dam as part of its commitments under a long-standing water-sharing agreement with the United States. The El Cachulo Dam in Nuevo Leon, in northern Mexico, released water to cover part of Mexico's water debt to the U.S. under the 1944 treaty. Under the pact, U.S. shares Colorado River water, while Mexico supplies water from the Rio Grande. Mexico has fallen behind on its obligation, accumulating a deficit of over 1 billion cubic meters over the past 5 years, drawing criticism from former U.S. President. Thousands of miners and rural workers marched through Bolivia's capital on Monday, demanding the repeal of a government decree that cut fuel subsidies. The measure, issued last week, has doubled gasoline prices and tripled diesel costs, sparking anger among unions and transport workers who warn it will drive up food and transport expenses for the poor. President Rodrigo Paz Pereira, just 14 days in office, insists the rollback is needed to ease fiscal pressure, with officials saying subsidies are unsustainable amid falling revenues and a slowing economy. Union leaders vow nationwide protests will continue until the decree is scrapped. A Mexican medical transport plane carrying 8 passengers crashed into the waters off the coast of Texas on Monday, killing at least 3 people. Video from the scene showed search and rescue workers and a dive team working in dense fog in the area of Scholes International Airport. The plane had taken off from Mexico and was approaching Galveston. Mexico's Navy confirmed that the plane was carrying out a medical mission trip in coordination with a non-profit foundation that helps pediatric burn victims. In Bangladesh, a leader of the National Citizen Party was shot in head by unidentified assailants in broad daylight in Khulna on Monday. Motaleb Shikdar, Khulna divisional head of the NCP and a central organizer of its labor wing, Jatiya Shramik Shakti, was attacked in Sonadanga area. Now, according to the witnesses, the attackers targeted his head before fleeing the scene. The police said the motive behind the shooting remains unclear and the identity of the assailants is yet to be ascertained. You're watching DD India Live. We are heading for a short break, but after the break, we will get you more updates. We'll tell you about the National Farmers' Day being celebrated today, with focus on farmer producer organizations and their role in building a Viksit Bharat by 2047. IPL's costliest uncapped player, former Karnataka's all-rounder Krishnappa Gautam, announces retirement.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Let's get you more updates. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is in Sri Lanka as a special envoy for the Prime Minister for the meetings with the leadership in Colombo to follow up on relief and reconstruction efforts in the wake of Cyclone Ditwa. Dr. Jaishankar was received by Sri Lanka's Deputy Tourism Minister Ruwan Ranasinghe on his arrival in Colombo on Monday evening. India has been among the main providers of the humanitarian aid since the cyclone hit Sri Lanka on November 28th, causing widespread flooding and deadly landslides. India launched Operation Sagar Bandhu on November 28th and delivered hundreds of tons of relief supplies and critical early recovery capabilities across Sri Lanka, including in areas rendered inaccessible by the cyclone. New Delhi dispatched relief materials by air and sea, rapidly deployed several specialized search and rescue units, medical and engineering equipment, and Bailey Bridge systems, and set up a field hospital manned by the Indian Army. Within the first 3 days of Cyclone Ditwa, 53 tons of emergency relief materials was delivered by Indian Navy warships and heavy lift aircraft of the Indian Air Force. India celebrates National Farmers' Day on December 23rd every year, marking the birth anniversary of Chaudhary Charan Singh. This year's theme focuses on farmer-producer organizations and their role in building a Viksit Bharat by 2047. With record food grain production, five-fold surge in agriculture budget, and schemes like PM Kisan Samman Nidhi benefiting over 9 crore farmers, DD India's Rahul Upadhyay gets us more in this report.
National Farmers' Day, also known as Kisan Divas, is celebrated annually on December 23 in India to recognize the vital contributions of farmers to the nation's economy and food security. This date commemorates the birth anniversary of Chaudhary Charan Singh, the 5th Prime Minister of India and a dedicated champion of farmers' rights and rural development. Officially instituted in 2001, the day honors his enduring legacy as one of the most prominent agrarian leaders in post-independence India. This year's theme, Viksit Bharat 2047, the role of FPOs in globalizing Indian agriculture, underscores the pivotal contribution of farmer-producer organizations in elevating Indian farming to global standards. FPOs empower small and marginal farmers through collective bargaining, enhanced access to advanced technology, quality inputs, institutional credit, and international markets. By strengthening supply chains, boosting agri-exports, and fostering sustainable, market-driven practices, FPOs are instrumental in realizing the vision of a developed India by 2047. The Government of India continues to prioritize farmer welfare and agricultural growth. The budget allocation for the Department of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare has surged nearly fivefold, from 27,663 crore rupees in 2013-14 to over 1.22 lakh crore rupees in recent years. Reflecting this support, India's food grain production has risen impressively from 265 million tons in 2013-14 to record levels in recent seasons, demonstrating enhanced productivity and resilience in the sector. The government has introduced several transformative initiatives to uplift farmers. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, PM Kisan, an income support scheme for cultivable landholding farmers providing Rs 6,000 per year in 3 installments. 21 installments have been paid to over 9 crore farmers. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Man Dhan Yojana, PMKMY, a voluntary pension scheme for farmers aged 18 to 40, offering 3,000 rupees monthly pension after age 60. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, PMFBY, restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme, RWBCIS, delivers affordable crop insurance covering over 4 crore farmers annually across most states and union territories. Modified Interest Subvention Scheme, MIS, offers concessional short-term loans up to 3 lakh rupees at 7% interest, benefiting over 7.75 crore Kisan credit card holders. Agricultural Infrastructure Fund, AIF, a 1 lakh crore rupees financing facility for post-harvest infrastructure and community assets. formation and promotion of 10,000 FPOs, a central scheme to boost farmers' bargaining power, reduce production costs, and increase incomes through aggregation and scale. National Beekeeping and Honey Mission, NBHM, promotes scientific beekeeping under Atmanirbhar Bharat, driving the sweet revolution, with India emerging as a leading global honey exporter. Namo Drone Didi equips 15,000 women's self-help groups with drones for rental services and fertilizer and pesticide application. National Mission on Natural Farming, NMNF, targets 15,000 clusters across 7.5 lakh hectares and 10,000 bio-input resource centers for sustainable practices. Pradhan Mantri Annadata Ai Sanrakshan Abhiyan, PM Asha, aims to ensure remunerative prices for farmers by strengthening the MSP system. The government's unwavering commitment to farmers' welfare stands out through visionary policies, substantial investments, and groundbreaking initiatives, from surging budget allocations and record food production to transformative schemes empowering millions. These efforts are propelling Indian agriculture towards global excellence, ensuring prosperity, security, and pride of every Annadata who feeds the nation. Rahul Upadhyay's report for DD India.
Vice President of India, C.P. Radhakrishnan, will be taking part in the National Conclave on AI in New Delhi on Tuesday, where he would share insights on AI-driven learning, skill transformation, and innovation in education. The theme of the conclave is enhancing human capital, and it explores AI's transformation of the education landscape, workforce readiness, and innovation ecosystem. India's state-run energy giant, Indian Oil Corporation, together with the Indian Army, has inaugurated a bulk petroleum storage facility in Ladakh. The installation is designed for extreme high-altitude terrain and aims to strengthen energy security in the region. It will support India's advanced winter stocking operations and significantly boost operational readiness in forward areas. Let's get to sports updates now. Former Karnataka all-rounder Krishnappa Gautam, 37 years of age, announced retirement in Bengaluru. A combative off-spinner and attacking batter, Gautam played 59 first-class and 68 List A matches, besides earning one ODI cap for India in 2021. His career highlights include an 8-wicket Ranji haul against Tamil Nadu in 2019 and defending 13 runs in the Saeed Mushtaq Ali Trophy final to seal a 1-run win. Gautam also made IPL history as the most expensive uncapped player, fetching 9.25 crore rupees from Chennai Super Kings in 2021. India and Sri Lanka meet again in Visakhapatnam, this time for the second T20 International, with the hosts looking to refine their game and the visitors desperate for answers. India dominated the opener, powered by Jemima Rodriguez sparking 69, but fielding lapses remained a concern as the team builds towards the 2026 T20 World Cup. Dropped catches by senior players highlighted the need for sharper execution, while youngsters like Vaishnavi Sharma showed promise. Sri Lanka, meanwhile, struggled for boundaries and urgency, managing just 9 runs, in fact 9 fours in total. Captain Chamari Atapattu admitted the side lacks the natural power hitters, leaving the team short of firepower. India seeks polish, Sri Lanka seeks survival as the series sets the tone for both the sides' future. FIFA released its final men's world rankings of 2025 on December 23, setting the stage for next year's World Cup in North America. The poll confirmed Spain is the year-end #1 team, ahead of the defending champions Argentina and runners-up France. England and Brazil rounded out the top 5, while Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany and Croatia completed the top 10. Morocco generated buzz by finishing 11th, just outside the elite group. The United States closed the year ranked 14th, Mexico 15th and Canada 27th, all preparing to host matches in June. FIFA will publish its next updated poll on January 18th. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the hour. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. Now, this app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.
Welcome to Haryana, where the indomitable spirit of humanity unites. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.